Hello, my name is Andrew Dugill with Hoffman Realty Tampa Property Management, and this is another in our blog series of helpful tips for landlords. Today I'd like to talk about how to be a landlord in Tampa, Florida, the 5 must-know rules. And we've been managing properties in the Tampa Bay area now for about 25 years, and we've developed these rules, and if you follow them, you will have a good experience as a landlord. Tip number 1, and this is the most important, you have to get a good tenant. I mean, that's pretty obvious, but so many landlords don't get good tenants. So please don't just settle for anyone. Make sure they have a good background check and make sure they get really good landlord references. Tip number 2, vacancies cost you money. In fact, it's estimated that every vacancy a landlord has costs them on average about 3 months rent. So vacancies are absolute killers. So what you've got to do is you've got to try and keep a good tenant for multiple lease terms. And the way you do that, the best way to do that is by treating that tenant with respect and being very, very responsive to legitimate maintenance concerns. Don't make them wait to get stuff repaired. Tenants do not like that. They think they're not important and they will leave. So I'll just give an example. In the summer in Florida, if AC fails, it gets pretty much unbearable in a property, and most AC complaints come in the evening. The renter gets home from work at 6 or 7 o'clock, it's 100 degrees in the property, and they call it in. Now, what we do as a company, we take those calls up to, say, 8 o'clock on a Friday night. And if we can, we have vendors that will go out in the evenings. If we can get someone out there that night, we will. If not, we'll get them out there on Saturday morning. Don't make that renter wait all weekend to get the AC fixed. If they've had 3 hot, sweaty nights, I can tell you they won't be renewing their lease. Tip number 3, you've got to have good vendors. These are vendors that you trust, that won't rip you off, and they're going to take care of your property. And if they're flexible, so they will go out in evenings and weekends to take care of your tenants, even better. Tip number 4, you've got to have good move-in and move-out inspections. And our advice would be to videotape them, because videotape evidence is very objective. Written forms or photographs can be considered subjective because you can Photoshop photographs. So get videos, and if you do have a deposit dispute, you'll be amazed how videos can help resolve it. You can get together with your tenant over a cup of coffee, watch the videos together, and a lot of the deposit disputes go away because that evidence is very objective. And then tip number 5, you've got to have a good enforceable Florida lease. Now hopefully you won't need a good enforceable lease because that means something's going wrong, but if things do go wrong, you'll be really glad you had a good lease. And a tip, you can't get a good lease at an office superstore. So this is Andrew Dugill with Hoffman Realty Tampa Property Management, and we manage rental properties throughout the Tampa Bay area. If you have questions about our blog today, we'd be glad to hear from you, so give us a call.